Welcome to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Excited about today's show, folks. We have an old friend with us today who is let's just say, a leader in the paranormal creatively, a leader in the paranormal when it comes to all things paranormal. Let me explain. She has not only been on the forefront as far as investigations, she's on the forefront when it comes to just groundbreaking material. Everything she releases, it seems like she's one step ahead of everybody. And I want to bring her in right now. And I'll do just a short intro because we have so much to talk about today. We have limited time today with her, and because she's that busy, she's got that much going on. You know her from Kindred Spirits. You know her from Ghost Hunters. You know her from all things great on television. Along with her partner, Adamberry, they're setting trends left and right. She's got a wonderful place where you can meet with her online called Paranormalcircle. We'll talk about that today. She's got a tour that she's doing this fall. We'll talk about that today. And she's got this book that as you can tell, I've got markers and I've been making recipes from. You can see it if you're watching the video, Food to Die For. And it's got wonderful recipes. We're going to talk about this today as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome back into Darkness Radio, Amy Bruni. Amy, thank you so much for being with me today.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. Thanks for dealing with my crazy schedule.
Oh, no. It's my pleasure, my friend. I appreciate it. Food to Die For, recipes and stories from America's most legendary haunted places. Amy, my gosh, this is such an amazing book. Not only just the recipes, but the stories are amazing.
Yeah.
The inspiration. This came out back in July, so I'm late with this, but
No, it's fine. Listen, I love talking about it still because it's still like people are discovering it every day, and I feel like it's going to be one of those books that people will be picking up 10 years from now, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know me, like I just really like to incorporate things that I love in my projects because it just motivates me to actually like follow through with them. And I love history, I love ghosts, and I love cooking, and I love wine. And so I was like, how can I put all of these things together? And I just came up with this book idea, Food to Die For. And the whole concept is recipes from haunted locations, like well-known haunted locations all over the country. And yeah, it's been a success. Apparently, a lot of people want to nerd out and read spooky stories and cook good food, sometimes very mediocre historical food, but they love it just as much as I do, which I'm so thrilled about.
Oh, we'd love it here at our house. I'll tell you, I got right into it because one of the first things I saw, and I'm going to nerd out with you here for just a brief moment. Okay, so I'm a big meatloaf guy. You can tell by my size. And so immediately I see Lizzie Borden's Meatloaf, right? So, and we kind of all know the story behind Lizzie Borden, especially if you spend any time around the paranormal. We don't have to jump into the story, but immediately I see the meatloaf and I'm like, okay, I got to do it, right? I got to try it. So I plan my night around it, right? And I make the meatloaf and it's amazing.
Did you like it? Because I've heard
It.
mixed reviews.
Really?
Yeah, okay, so real quick, that recipe is what inspired the entire book. That's why I dedicate the book to Lizzie Borden. And it's because that was the moment I saw that recipe card of hers. The local historical society posted it on social media. And I remember I was just looking at it and I thought, oh my gosh, if you make that meatloaf, you are experiencing exactly what Lizzie Borden and her family experienced, minus the axe murder. But like, you're smelling the same smells, you're tasting the same thing. It's just like it's such a different it's a lot more visceral, I feel like, than just like walking in and imagining, like, I wonder what it was like here, I wonder, looking at old photos, it's like, oh no, you are feeling and tasting and smelling exactly what they did. It's like really reliving history. And I thought about that and I was like, oh my gosh, I have an idea. And so I started collecting recipes. Once I saw that, I started researching recipes. And the way she makes it is so odd, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
And so the irony here too is that I don't really eat meat. I only eat fish occasionally. And so my writing partner, Julie Tremaine, who's one of my best friends, she got to make the meaty recipes and she was like, this meatloaf is horrendous.
Didn't like it, huh?
She didn't like it, but some people loved it. And
I
so it was
love
like
it.
Lizzie liked it enough to spread it around and give recipe cards out to people. So, I always tell people, I'm like, a lot of these recipes are delicious, but some of them are very historic. So,
Right. That's the
but
thing.
like,
This is
yeah,
very bare. It's very bare bones. It's
yep.
not. It's not an overwhelming knock you out type meatloaf. Like with mine, people are going to think this is weird. I'll throw Ritz crackers in it.
Oh yeah, yeah. My mom did that growing up,
Yeah.
like breadcrumbs and stuff like that. We were a big meatloaf family growing up. I think everybody was in the 80s. It was like a staple. And so, but yeah, yeah, no, Lizzie, hers was, I just thought it was weird how she floats it in water and it's just a very different way of making it.
Right.
And yeah, so if anybody wants to try it out.
Right. So yeah, and I tell you what I'm going to do. I took pictures of each one of the recipes that we made. So
You're amazing. I love this.
I'm gonna put it on our blog on darknessradioshow.com. So
So awesome.
I have is it 3 or 4 recipes I think that I made specifically from the book. So I'm gonna put pictures up on the blog so people can see the different dishes that we made.
That's awesome. We have a lot of them in heavy rotation in our house. Like I was surprised at the end of because we have to test every single recipe. And
Mhm.
so there's quite a few that like people request for family gatherings or I just make for us. We love them so much. And I'm like, I guess I don't know. I've never written a cookbook before this. And I was like, wow, like these kind of stick with us. Like we're making these recipes a lot.
Oh, I tell you, there's now some staples that I'm making from here
Yeah.
on out that I absolutely love. The one, okay, so the other one that I'm huge on roasts. I love
Oh
roast
yeah.
and this old fashioned Yankee pot roast from the Conjuring House.
Yeah.
My God, is that good?
That came directly from Andrea Perrin. That was her mom's recipe. And so that was just like, that was a staple of theirs growing up. They made that all the time. I've heard nothing but good things about that recipe. People are obsessed with it. It's
Yeah.
very cozy, very New Englandy. So yeah, no, people love that recipe. I was so touched that she passed that on to me. And then her mom passed away not long after. So I just think it's kind of
Oh.
touching that, it's in the book for everyone to enjoy forever.
The night that I made that, it was very cold. Um, I mean, it was rainy. It was kind of a rainy, sleety night, and it was one of those nights where you just needed that comfort food, that
Oh
really
yeah.
comfort food, and it was absolutely perfect. And the potatoes with it too. The potatoes were that 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 were made with it were absolutely amazing.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
whole meal. Like it's a whole meal in itself.
yeah. Okay, so the other thing made with it too was the absinthe uh, frappe.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
okay.
made that?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, you are really digging in. That is so good. That's from the
yeah,
Absinthe House in New Orleans.
yeah.
Yeah, that was I got to test the cocktails, all the cocktails. Anything without meat in it, I tested. So, yeah. No, delicious. So
Yeah, yeah, that
there's some fun cocktails in there. Some of them are really easy too. Like we make the Navy Grog a lot. That's a crowd pleaser. It's only got like 4 ingredients.
yeah. Yeah, oh, and that boy, talk and now I'm not a huge drinker, but I like the occasional drink and I'm not a beer guy. I've never been a beer guy, but I
Yeah,
like
I'm not a beer
mixed
girl.
drinks. And
Hmm.
but this one and I love licorice. In fact,
Yeah.
people thought I was weird as a kid because I like black licorice jelly beans. So so when I got this, I was like, woo. I mean, it hits initially when
Absinthe
you
is
first,
strong. You gotta be careful
yeah,
with that stuff.
yeah, but it was good. It was nice. It was smooth. That's what I liked about it. Okay, so the potatoes with I made the legendary potatoes with
Oh, those are
the
so good. The
with
ones from Connecticut, the Lighthouse Inn.
yes, the Lighthouse Inn legendary potatoes.
That's probably in my top 3 favorite recipes in this book.
Yeah.
Like they are like my mouth is watering. I'm starving, and it's I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
they're so good. I make those for holidays now as a side. So we made them for Christmas, and we're going away for Easter. I'd make them for Easter, but yeah, with that they're like a perfect side for holidays or just a side in general. But they are so good, and I don't think that restaurant's long gone. So like this kind of helps it live on in a way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And those potatoes again, and I'm going to post these pictures up on darknessradioshow.com on the blog so you guys can see the different dishes that we prepared here at the house. So you can see these. And the last one that was prepared was the from the Queen Mary, the scallopini embody. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. The butterfly cutlet and everything.
yep,
Uh, a little involved, but
yeah.
boy, was it good.
Yeah, some of these, it's funny because they really run the gamut of being like, some of them are very simple to make, but some of them are a lot more complicated. But we tried to stick with ones that were fairly easy. But yeah, that recipe, that's an old one. And now I even have, it's so funny. Yeah, the scallopini embody. Let me see. I'm going to bring it up
Yeah.
because I
And
want to
I'll
look
just,
at
yep, I got it in front of me here. So I'll just let people know it's a chicken cutlet,
it.
right? So it's butterflied. You put Parmesan cheese in it. Um, it's made in a skillet, and it's, but I can actually, I'll hold it up to the camera here so
Yeah,
people can get
it's
an idea of what it looks like there.
yeah, it's beautiful. They
Yeah.
it is a beautiful dish.
Yeah. And it's, oh, is it tasty? Boy, is it tasty. And it was so, the chicken was so buttery soft. That's the only
Mhm.
way to put it. And the coating on it was so it wasn't, it had a slight crunch to it, but it was nice, right? I
So
mean,
good.
yeah, everything about it was so good, right?
Yeah, and that really shows you too just how amazing the photography is in the book. I can't take credit for that part, but I was blown away by
Yeah,
the how beautiful what they did.
right. I mean, it was just it was, and anyone who's ever ate at the Queen Mary will tell you that the meals there are absolutely delicious. But
They really are.
yeah, but it was so good. What I'm impressed with, Amy, about this book is the scope of haunted places that you got recipes from, including jails, haunted jail, right?
Yeah.
And one of the recipes, and I have to pull it out of the book here because when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. There's a if I can grab it real quick as I'm fumbling through the book here, there's a recipe for something that has no nutritional value whatsoever, and it's a biscuit. I'm trying to remember the name
Oh,
of
it's
it.
hard. You're talking about hardtack from this old
Yes,
Saint, yeah, the
hard.
old jail in St. Augustine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because that was they ate that there, but that's also well known to a lot of sailors because they would make that to like make long journeys over water when they ran out of food. They because hardtack would stay. I mean, it was wouldn't poison you basically. It was just like it's like crackers almost, and yeah, so that's a fun recipe to attempt for sure. But yeah, it's basically like let's give this to you to barely give you any sustenance, just enough to keep you alive, and unhappy. So,
That's amazing too. Now, I know you would probably have an insight for this next recipe, but I find it fun, kind of fun that you got a recipe from a fraternal organization that is still running, the Odd Fellows.
yeah,
Yet it's supposed to be a closed society of some sort. But you got
not
an
when it
open,
comes to their apple pie, apparently.
yeah, but not yeah. But the apple pie is an open secret, right?
Yeah, it actually came from. I mean, I have to remember. I feel like we found that in an Oddfellows cookbook or something. Let me see. Where did I find that recipe? Yeah, some of them I had to really dig to find a recipe that like
Yeah,
made sense.
it said
Oh,
it
here we
just
go. 176. Where did I find? Everything is sourced in the back.
it said it came from the Maplewood Lodge, number
Yeah.
one, the independent order. but it doesn't say how exactly you extracted it from them. So
I think I honestly, if I remember correctly, it came out of, they had like a cookbook. They probably did like a cookbook for like a fundraiser or something, and I found it in there.
so they didn't keep the order that secret then.
I
Huh?
just spied on them. I just hid in their kitchen while they were cooking, and that's that's how it happened.
It's hysterical. Now, as I'm going through the different jail recipes, I'm saying to myself, I don't think jail was that tough. I mean, you have stuff like French fruit sandwiches.
Oh, I know. Isn't that a random one?
Is
And they're
that
actually really
Eastern
good. That's
State?
from Ohio State or
Oh, Ohio
Mansfield.
State.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mansfield. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, that was one of the only jail recipes that's good in this book. Like, let's be, because otherwise you have the Nutriloaf from Eastern State, which is
Yes.
another one that's just like, let's just give you nutrition, not taste. I tell people all the time, I'm like, don't make that. Or if you
No.
want to make it as like a learning experience for your children or something. But yeah, no, the French fruit sandwiches are delicious. And then Alcatraz, there's cookies
Yeah.
because the warden's wife, and like some of the employees' wives, they put out like a cookbook in the 50s, and they would make these cookies sometimes for the inmates on holidays and stuff like. So so there you have it.
But
But
okay, so all right, but hold on. I'm gonna grab the ingredients for Nutriloaf because
it's pretty gnarly.
when I did read it, some of them didn't sound that bad. Okay, so I have it here. The gelatin sounds gross.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
the fact that that's the binder in it, right? But
Uh-huh.
if you take that out, you've got whole wheat breadcrumbs, you got powdered milk, you got a little bit of ground beef. Okay, you got some vegetables in there that may ruin it a little bit, but then after that, it's American cheese, some canned beans, some onion, and then a little bit of margarine. I mean, that doesn't sound all that bad, does
I
it?
mean, there are definitely worse
Okay,
things.
and I'll hold up the picture for video so people can
Do
see.
you want to make that for dinner?
It does look gross. Yeah, it look pretty gnarly, right?
You'll have to taste test it next to Lizzie's meatloaf and do like a blind taste test and see which one tastes better.
I think just to punish myself one day, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what you think.
I'm gonna
We
let you know.
made
I'm
it.
gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, did you? Okay, so did your co-author made it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have to make everything in here. And she was not a fan. My cats were, though. My cats tried to eat it.
What did the cats think?
The cats were trying to eat it, and I was like, I don't think you can have this. So it
Well,
passed the cat taste test. Or maybe they were starving, but I feel like I feed them pretty well. So
and they survived, right?
they survived. I think I even mentioned it in the acknowledgments that they tried to eat it.
Oh,
Oh, finally, my cats, Harry and Fern, who watched over the entire process of writing this book and who apparently love Nutriloaf. It was purely accidental. Do not feed this to your cats.
oh, okay. And then before we go to break here, I do have to mention. Okay, both you and I have been to Cripple Creek, Colorado. I never got to try the crab cakes though.
Isn't that a random thing to come out of Colorado? You're like,
Yeah,
crab cakes. They're actually very, very good.
are
Yeah,
they?
they're delicious. I did a book club at a local restaurant and they made them for everybody and they were delicious. They made those and the Caesar. They did like a bunch of stuff from the book. They did those, they did the Caesar salad. It was amazing.
Really?
Hmm.
Yeah. And then uh you have some interesting, and I've been to Tombstone as well. I was there for, I think it was the 25th anniversary of the movie
Yeah.
of yeah, and you have some, and I'm wanting to try the recipes from Tombstone. I haven't tried
Yeah,
this.
there's two in here because there's one
Yeah.
from Big Nose Kate's and then there's one just from Tombstone. And so
Yeah.
the Big Nose Kate's is their old tomato soup recipe. And then Tombstone is like a macaroni alla Italian or something. And
Yes.
it's edible. It's one of those things like, remember, I'm sure you know Tombstone tried to make itself much fancier than it actually was. They thought they were.
Right.
So
Right.
everything was, I'm trying to bring it up here. Um,
Yep. Yeah.
looking
Yep.
at
You're
it.
right about that. Yep. Yep.
And so,
Yeah, it's the
yeah, it was
macaroni all
actually
Italian.
it was in their, it was in a local newspaper in 1882. And
Okay.
so, yeah, I mean, it's decent. It's fine. My daughter liked it. She drank or she ate it.
Yeah.
She was happy. So the sauce
Good.
is really good, actually.
Really.
Hmm.
I'll have to give it a try. I'll
There
have to
you
give it
go.
a try. So before we go to break, there's one other thing I wanted to mention on air and then find out how it went. You had was it it was some sort of spirits and spirits type of event with Joanne Mass from.
Oh yeah, we did a live stream. So I have this thing called the Paranormal Circle, which is it's a membership program, a subscription program, but it's just kind of a way to just provide a ton of paranormal content for people, and it's not expensive. It's like $8 to $10 a month, depending on what plan you do. But I had the other night I had Jawan on, and it was really, so we do these live streams, and I've had like Josh Gates, I've had Adam, I've had Chip, I've had, and I bring a guest on. Usually like once a month we do like a little cocktail hour. And so we just did that. It was so fun. And so if anybody wants to catch that, and we do live streaming investigations too, and online meetups, in-person meetups, evidence review, you name it, they can all join that at amybruni.com, so they won't miss the next Spirits and Spirits.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, I saw that that was coming up online, and I thought, oh, that's perfect. We had Juwan on the program not too
Oh, he's
long ago with
great.
Joshua. Oh, and both Juwan and Joshua were on. We had a great time,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
and we actually, I think I might have Amy accidentally put them together on a project.
Ah, I know. There you go.
So I think I might have started something with the two of them, which is really
Yeah.
cool. I think they were thinking about working together anyways, but I
I'm
think.
sure they were. I know we got to finally introduce those two at Missouri Paracon, which was a lot
Yep.
of fun. That's where you and I caught up.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I know Joshua had been wanting to meet Juwan for a very long time. He was fanboying big time.
They're both wonderful guys. So
Yes.
it was great to get them on the program and get them talking, and we actually get to talk about investigating Masonic calls and Prince the Masonic calls there, and I gave him an idea about investigating and actually getting some hard evidence, audio evidence in Masonic calls. So it was a really good conversation.
That's awesome.
Should
I
make
have investigated many a Masonic hall, so that's so interesting.
yeah.
I did a talk at one. I got invited by a local lodge to speak. They opened it to the
Oh yeah,
public. Yeah.
very cool.
I was like, it was so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Did you get to investigate afterwards?
No, I have investigated a few of them over the years, but this one they were trying, they're always trying to kind of, I feel like lodges and like Odd Fellows and things like that. I feel like in these like kind of newer generations, I feel like those community kind of things are getting lost a bit. So they're always trying to think of ways to bring in new members and have people see what they're actually doing to kind of keep these, things alive. And so they asked me to come speak and opened it to the public, and it was, an opportunity for them to also talk about what they do and what's involved. And then I got to talk about my thing, and so they were very lovely. They were very nice.
Yeah, you're very right about that. The membership rolls are dwindling. You're
Yeah.
right about that, and they are trying to do new things to bring in new members and basically to, I think, educate the public too about what they do.
100%. I think there's so much mystery, and like, people have these very, very wild ideas of what goes on in these in these orders. And so I was happy to help them out. And I just love the history of that whole organization. And it was fun. It was a packed house. This was like months, maybe even last year, but it was packed. There was only standing room. Like, people were really excited. I think people also wanted to get inside. They wanted to see what was in there.
Yeah, yeah. There's that too. There's the curiosity factor,
Uh-huh.
for sure. Well, speaking of speaking, there's a nice transition. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Amy's hitting the road, going on tour. Walking with Ghosts is the name of the tour, I believe, and she may be in a town near you. We're going to talk about it when we come back. More with Amy Bruni, and we're going to talk about where you can see her in a town near you. Coming up next, right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. My guest, Amy Bruni. By the way, we've been talking about this wonderful book right here. I'll hold it up for the camera. Food to Die For. It's right here. We have a link in the description of this program so you can order your copy. By the way, folks, you'll be busy for at least a good, I'd say a year, if not more, making the recipes in this book. They're all wonderful. Even the hardtack, I think.
Even the hardtack. I'm actually writing the sequel right now. I can say it now out loud. I didn't know that I could say it, but yeah, we have a sequel coming out summer of 2026, Cuisine to Kill For. So
Nice title.
yeah, so it's the sequel, and at this time we're going international, so it's gonna be all over the world.
Really?
Yeah, and we're focusing on like mystery and like true crime hauntings from all over the world. So it'll be it's gonna be fun. I'm in the thick of writing that right now. Like we're almost done. So
I love it. All right. Looking forward to it. Looking
yeah.
forward to it. Absolutely. All right. All right. Well, Amy, not only do you have Paranormal Circle, and in the Paranormal Circle, we should explain to people that you also you do some stuff in Paranormal Circle where people can follow you on ghost hunts virtually, right? Where they can and do some events with you virtually, which is nice to be able to follow you virtually. But it'd be nice if they could see you on the road, where they could come see you in person. Now, you do have this tour coming up in the fall, correct?
Yeah, I do. So it's called Walking with Ghosts, True Crime Hauntings with Amy Bruni. So I change it up every year. So it's the Walking with Ghosts tour, but I change this talk up because I end up in sometimes same areas and I want people to come see something new and fresh. So this year I'm really obsessed with true crime hauntings lately. This is my new thing. So I'm doing a whole lecture on that. And then I also bring a whole like mini museum of some of my favorite haunted artifacts that people can get up close and personal with before and after the lecture, so they can see that. But yeah, I'm going all over. I know I have 20 cities booked already, and I know my manager is getting some more, some more out there too. I told him, I'm like, just send me on the road, whatever. It's the one time of year everyone wants to talk to me is September and October, and then I turn into a pumpkin on November 1st, and I go back into obscurity. But yeah, so we're going to some really cool places. We're going back to the Stanley Hotel. I went there last year, and we sold that out, and so. I'm going back there. I'm going, I should probably look at my schedule. It's on my website. Yeah, if you go to amybruni.com, it's up in the events for sure.
Yep. You will be at the Stanley October 23rd. That's a great time of year to be there. Holy cow, is it ever? October 24th, you'll actually be in Parker, Colorado at the Parker Arts, Culture, and Event Center. I tell you what, you're going to be down with my buddy Wayne D, who has the #1 country morning show and is up for a CMA award.
Wow, so fancy.
If you would like to meet with him on his morning show, I can hook you two up.
I might need to. We'll see. Yes, please email me.
You'll be there September 7th. He's also the announcer for the Nashville Predators. So if you wanted to visit with him on his morning show, I can make that happen. You'll be in New York on September 21st. You'll be in Philly on September 22nd. You'll be in Columbus September 26th, Cleveland September 27th, Orlando October 1st and October 2nd. Fort Lauderdale October 3rd, Clearwater October 4th, Ocala, Florida October 5th. You're in Illinois, October 9th, Hartford, Wisconsin, October 10th, Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin, October 11th, Madison, October 12th. You're all over the place. And then you go to Berkeley. Look at that.
And there's more being announced.
And there's more being announced. You're going to be busy.
I am. It's an adventure. Touring like that, I guess, it's almost like rock star status, but not rock star at all.
I think you've achieved that, my friend.
It's just me and so our production manager from Kindred Spirits, Sean Nichols, he travels with me, and he's like my merch guy and like assists me. So it was like literally that's the crew. It's me and Sean on the road. And so it's always an adventure. We drive all over the place, fly all over the place, and get to meet so many people. I love touring. It is exhausting, but I do love doing it.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna I'm going to kind of blow some sunshine your way because let's face it, Missouri Paracon now I think is taking the place of Michigan Paracon. I mean, even though Michigan Paracon I think is trying to scale down and do some smaller events,
Yeah.
Missouri Paracon I think really is trying to fill that hole, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Bigger Paracon. You were announced as the very first guest.
Yes.
Missouri Paracon. I mean, you're it. You're the headliner, my friend. That's
I feel like I was like, you sure you wanted to do that? You sure you're not going to scare people away?
no,
Like, I want my money back. No.
no,
Yeah, I
no.
was thrilled to see that. I am dear friends with Jesse and Brad, who both run that convention. And so I'm always happy to do anything they need. So that, I don't even think they officially asked me. They just announced me. I'm like, I guess I'm going back. I guess. So, but yeah, I'm working with Brad too. In August, we're doing ghosts of the, oh gosh, we're doing it. It's up in the souk at the same time as Michigan Paracon would have been for people who want to go back up there and kind of reminisce. We're doing like a much smaller event. And so that'll be a lot of fun too. So people can like come up in August and yeah.
That is August 22nd through the 23rd. It's called a Ghostly Great Lakes Weekend.
That's it. Oh, it's gonna be so fun. So that's another, you can go back to the Kewadin Casino and relive the Michigan glory days.
Yeah. But to kind of expound on the point, I won't expound on it too much for you. But again, I don't want to embarrass you or anything. I'm not
No.
trying to embarrass you, but I mean, just if you would just kind of tell me a little bit about how that feels. I mean, because I mean, they really they're telling you, and I think it's well deserved that hey, right now you are it in the paranormal field, and I think it's well deserved because if I can just make one observation.
Yes, please.
The weekend of Missouri Paracon, your table was always 15, 20 people deep wanting to meet you. There was no other table where there was a constant line of people wanting to see anybody in that vendor area. There were constant people wanting to see you, meet you, talk to you, and they wanted that personal experience with you. They wanted to share a part of their life with you, and they felt like that's my friend Amy,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's my friend Amy who's on TV. So tell me a little bit about what it is about the makeup of Amy Bruni on the screen that translates to people that they feel that they personally know you.
It's hard to say. I think it's probably just that I'm exactly the same. Maybe a little bit goofier in person because you know how it is with TV. Like when we're filming, they tend, they want it to be scary. So they always focus on like the serious moments. So I am kind of a goofball in person, I do admit. But I think it's just that they meet me and they're like, oh, I feel like I know you. I feel like you're my friend, And I also I think the big thing is, I think that people really resonate with the idea that ghosts aren't super scary and they're people too, and that like I work so hard to humanize them. And I think people like that kind of movement in the paranormal, this kind of getting away from the novelty of being scared. And I think sometimes Kindred Spirits was one of the first times people saw that could be the case. And also, I'm very honest. Like I've been very, very. It's been really important to me to keep my integrity intact through all of this. I could have sold out years ago and started faking things and going crazy, and probably would have a lot more money than I do. And but especially like once I had my daughter, and she looks up to me so much. Like it's just really. Like my motivating factor is always I always want to be able to look at her and say, I made it in a world where people thought they had to fake it, and I never did, and I never had to, and just helps me sleep at night. And so I like to think that's why people like to meet me, is they just know that I'm just a chill, normal, honest person. And I'm always I have major imposter syndrome. Like I always feel very like, when I tour and I walk out and there's hundreds of people there, I'm like, oh my God, like, are we sure you're here to see? I have really bad imposter syndrome. It's still very hard for me to like understand how any
Serious.
of this happens. Yeah, I do. I do. And yeah, I really do. When that term started coming out, I was like, that's how I'm feeling, because it just baffles me. And I'm always just so humbled and like, I don't ever feel like special that way at all. Like,
Huh. Well, now, but would you call it, is it really imposter syndrome, or is it more the, I don't want the accolades because I'm afraid that someday maybe they won't be there? Is it the fear that maybe it'll be all taken away from you too soon?
oh yeah, no, actually, because like I'm definitely one of those people where like if I don't want to mean like disappear, but like if I did not have any of that paranormal notoriety tomorrow, I would just continue about my life the way it is. Like
Okay.
um it's something I never expect to be there. And yeah, I tell people that's my advice to people a lot, especially with TV and whatnot. Like every season of Kindred, I just assumed would be our last. I never expected it. I never like, it's not like you make a ton of money on TV, but I never counted on any of that money. I always tried to make my living in other ways so that I never had to rely on TV. I just I never expect any of it to be here. Like tomorrow, Instagram could blow up and half of my people wouldn't know where I went. You know what I mean? Like I just never take it for granted ever, ever, ever.
So let me expound on that question then. Let's say it all goes away tomorrow. What does Amy Bruni do?
Oh my gosh. You know what I do? I finally let my partner Jimmy take care of me instead. And no, I would just find I would open like a little boutique or something in Newport where I live. And, we would just have our little family and do our thing. And, you know, it would probably be something like that, a lot more relaxing. But my problem is that I just can't stop. Even before I was on TV and all that, I always had ideas and projects and like businesses, and I've just always been very entrepreneurial. So I would just think of something else to start.
See, I think right now you're right where you've always meant have been, I'm not using my words properly, always where you were meant to be, right? I mean, you're put in the places you're put in because it's almost destiny. It's where you were always meant to be.
I feel that so strongly. I feel like all my roads led to here. Like I have honestly like never been happier. I am so Kindred obviously like was the victim of this whole merger with Travel Channel and WB and whatnot. And there's always been these like rumblings will get picked up by another network or yada yada yada. But I'm totally at peace with it not being here. And and I know people love that show, and maybe I'm sure in some way, shape, or form it will come back at some point. But I am so at peace not filming constantly and like being home with my family and being more present and working on projects that I can do from home and, relegating my travel to touring in the fall. And I have my podcast, Haunted Road, that people can listen to. And I have a show coming out called Historically Haunted that I produced and created that'll be out probably in the next few months. And so there's still ways to see me, but like everything I have now is completely in my control. I don't have to answer to anyone. And that has been very freeing and I love it. So yeah.
And we are looking forward to Historically Haunted, and we look forward to your podcast as well. And we'll link all that, the podcast and everything in
Yeah.
this into this program, because again, we want more avenues to see you. But I have to ask you this question. There's that unique there was that unique chemistry between you and Adam and Chip.
Yeah.
And there's always that craving for more, right? When somebody gets that unique chemistry, when they see that uniqueness, that wonderful chemistry, and it's like a drug. They want more, 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 more. When am I going to get more? And I'm sure you get this all the time on the road. Amy, come on. When are there more episodes? You can take it to the internet. You can put it on the internet. You can put it on Netflix. You can take it to Paramount. You can take it wherever you want to. You could take it to any streaming company and redo it. Do you feel like saying, you know what? There's no such thing as a redo.
Yeah, I think that Kindred, like, so everyone's in such a different place now, and I love that people love that. Like, and I love investigating. Like, I still investigate. I just tell people all the time, I'm like, I didn't retire or anything. I still investigate. But it's one of those things, like, obviously Chip has been going through a lot, like medically the last year or so, and he's a caregiver for someone. And Adam is working really hard with this theater company, and he's gotten into real estate, and I'm doing all my projects. And I don't think that people realize like the actual cost associated with making a network television show. Um, and it's just, it's not, I think sometimes people get confused. They think everyone could just go to YouTube, just get on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's not that easy. And it's also like someone has to pay for this,
Right.
there's a monetary, like, I mean, every episode of Kindred Spirits costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to make and produce. And
Yeah.
so it's not as easy as just go to YouTube. And so I have to answer. Sometimes I just have to be very frank with people when I answer that question. Like, trust me, I loved it as much as you do, probably more. It's like a whole chapter of my story and my life. And Adam is, one of my best friends. We talk every day. He only lives an hour and a half away from me, and so we see each other, and so yeah, it just I wish we could go on forever and ever, but all good things have to, kind of come to an end or take a little break and see what happens. And so yeah, it's gotten to the point where like I've had to filter those words out of my social media because people ask. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding when I say dozens of times a day.
Yeah.
And so I hate the social media. You can filter words to just go so you don't even see them anymore. And I had to filter, renewal, renewed.
Yeah.
It's Kindred coming back. Like I had to filter those words out so I don't see it anymore because I get so like, oh. And it's also like, to be very honest, sometimes it's hard when you announce something like, the cookbook or
Mhm.
the tour, and half the comments are, well, all we want to see is you on TV. And you're like, I'm more than
Right. Right.
TV.
But
That can be hard.
but part of being a pioneer, and let's face it, you are a pioneer, is there are more wonderful creative things that are coming out of you, and you're breaking ground constantly. The Food to Die For book, if people pick it up, read it, they're gonna love it. They're gonna love everything that's in it.
Yeah.
And
Thank
and
you.
it's knowing that you're this creative force, right? And if you just hang on for the ride and take the ride, you're more than just what this project was over here.
Right.
There's more to come.
Oh, yeah.
You go to see the If you go to see the Walking with Ghosts tour, you know that there's this wonderful presentation you've put together, and there's this whole other side to Amy Bruni. And it's not just Kindred. Kindred is just one little part of your universe that, yeah, you knocked it out of the park. It was a grand slam home run, kid. Sure. But there's more power over here, and you can
Right.
hit another one, right? It's
Yeah.
not like you only had the one in you.
No. Yeah, and that's just it. There's so much more to come. So many things I'm constantly working on. And I don't diminish Kindred at all and what effect it had on me and what, it was we were very proud of that. Like we walked away from Ghost Hunters, which was a very successful program. We walked away from it um and did something else. And it was like it was a big leap of faith. I
Yeah.
mean, well, actually, when we left Ghost Hunters, we didn't even know we were doing another show. But it's like it was one of those things. It was like I just felt right at the time, so we did it, and then we ended up with Kindred, and so everything happens for a reason. And there are, well, I think 70 episodes of Kindred for people to watch forever, and it's a good comfort show, and it'll always be there. And it's
Yeah.
been it's been such a big part of me and where I am. And I am very, very aware of that and thankful for it all the time. But I also encourage people like that everyone involved in Kindred, they're all magical people, including our crew. And they all have so many amazing projects they're working on. And there's so much out there. And we're in a world now where paranormal content is so easy to come by. It's like, it's such a great space for creators and fans. Like everyone is so accessible.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Just turn around. You're somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of being somewhere, your next stop is actually May 17th at Penhurst Asylum Paracon.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That's a big one. That's
right
a doozy.
Yeah, that's a huge one. That's a huge one.
That's, I would say, the biggest paranormal convention happening in the country right now is that one, for sure.
Absolutely. So you can see Amy at Penhurst May 17th. And of course, the tour is coming up, Walking with Ghosts. Go to amybruni.com. We have a link in the description of this program so you can experience all things Amy, including signing up for Paranormalcircle. You're going to want to do that so you can get in on all events that Amy has going on with Paranormalcircle. Before we go, we also want to mention Strange Escapes. I know you've already got a lot on your plate, but have you started to plan the next Strange Escapes?
Oh, yes. So Strange Escapes is my travel business that I started years and years and years ago. It's like a labor of love. It's one of those things I do purely for the love of it. And we go to famous haunted locations and basically take vacations there. And so we have Gettysburg coming up in September. The website's getting updated the next couple of weeks. And so we have Gettysburg coming up in September, and we have the Queen Mary coming up in January. So we have some big ones coming up.
Excellent. All right. So again, amybruni.com for all things Amy Bruni. And this book right here, we'll have a link in the description of this program. And again, check darknessradioshow.com to see the recipes that I made out of this book. And folks, again, the food in this book, amazing. Go check it out right now. Food to Die For by Amy Bruni. And can't wait for the sequel. Again, what's the name of the sequel?
Cuisine to Kill For.
Oh, look at that. And then Walking with Ghosts tour. Make sure you check out Amy on the road. Amy, I want to thank you so much, my friend, for being with us.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. I'm so glad we ran into each other in Missouri.
I am too. I'm glad we ran into each other and that you were so gracious to come back onto Darkness.
Anytime.
All right. Thank you so much, Amy. Folks, that's going to do it for today. I want to, again, remind you to update your Darkness Radio app or re-download if for some reason you lost it on your phone. It's updated for iOS 18. Also, check out the store at darknessradioshow.com. If you haven't subscribed and liked the channel on YouTube, if you're listening to this on audio and you haven't yet subscribed and liked the video channel, it's the original Darkness Radio on YouTube. And of course, this weekend, go out and help somebody who may need you. It's spring cleanup. So if there's someone out there who's elderly or disabled, by all means, go out there and help them. Be a light in someone's darkness this weekend. That'll do it for Jessica Freeberg, for Mally Fox, for Beer City Bruiser. I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for tuning in to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio.
For more audio and video archives of the show, please check out darknessradioshow.com. The executive producer of Darkness Radio is Troy Palmer. If you enjoyed today's show, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a great holiday weekend, and remember to be a light in someone's darkness.